We can all sense your frustration with Vladimir Putin. Do you think he has been lying to you about his intentions in Ukraine?
Well, I don't want to use the word lying. All I know is we'd have a good talk, and it seemed on, let's say, 3 occasions, it seemed that we were going to have a ceasefire and maybe peace, and you divide it up and you do whatever you have to do, that obviously to get to the end. And all of a sudden, missiles are flying into Kiev and other places. And I say, what's that all about? I spoke to him 3-4 hours ago, and it looked like we were on our way, and then I'd say, forget it, and I'm not going to talk anymore. You know, this has happened on too many occasions, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
How much do you think his position is or isn't shifting? I mean, he's shortened the deadline by which he says he wants the Russians to respond. How real, I mean, Trump's deadlines notoriously move around. What did you make of the deadline and of what may or may not happen after it if Russia doesn't do what he wants?
I think that was the key bit of American foreign policy that shifted today. Talking to people around Trump, I was very aware that he is fed up with Vladimir Putin and the way that he has been acting. And I had become aware that he was going to shorten that deadline by which he wants a ceasefire. That deadline was due to come into force on the 2nd of September. That was the end of the 50 days that Trump originally gave Putin, at which point he's talking about secondary tariffs, so tariffs on other countries that do business with Russia. We really weren't expecting him to lay his cards out quite so much, but that's the amazing thing about when you come up to any sort of event with Donald Trump, you'd never know what he's going to tell you. And all of a sudden he announced it's going to be 10 or 12 days. And I'm going to announce it formally in the next day or so. So 10 or 12 days from now, he's shortened that deadline by which he wants a ceasefire in Ukraine before he goes for secondary tariffs against President Putin. And that was why I asked him how fed up he was with President Putin and if he thought he had been lying to him. He didn't want to go that far, so the door is potentially still open. He did talk about how he has good phone calls with President Putin, but he clearly feels that Putin's acting in bad faith because the phone calls are followed by rocket attacks on Kyiv. So we watch that with interest. Of course, as you say, Tom, President Trump's deadlines, they kind of move around a lot, and especially where tariffs are concerned, those go up and down too, don't they?